What's going on with you and Aiden? I didn't catch up with that drama. People were mad about some shit. What happened?
Nothing. It just, he just. I think he should have just went live. Like, I mean, I know who he is off stream. He's not a hateful person. He's a good kid, and I just think he should have went live and been that good kid and just recognized that what he said was just wild, right? Like, it was just trashy. It was just wrong. I think he should have just recognized it, apologized, and moved on. But instead, I felt like he gave in to what he thought would look cool in front of his audience, and that just, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way, and I think it's selfish of him, not only in terms of, the overall view, but just in terms of kick. I don't know. So I just kind of, I just thought his apology was half-assed, and I think he should have just been more, he should have just been straightforward and just went on there and apologized and moved on. Because I talked to him off stream. He's not about any of that stuff that he says. Like, if you would have said something along the lines of like fuck/them, obviously that's still terrible and fucked up, but it's nowhere near the lines or like, it's just nowhere near saying kill/them. That's just bad. That's just really fucking bad. So I think you should, I don't know, I think you should have went live and kind of, I know what he meant. I know what he was thinking when he said that. Like, he wasn't thinking of it as like the sentence of kill them, inciting that violence. Like, I think, but he just needs to go live and, and apologize. And there was no clarification there. Like, I know that because I know him off stream, but no one else knows him off stream. So like, you have to understand that 99.9 out of 100 times, there's no shot anyone, and they shouldn't, is going to see the benefit of the doubt in saying something that fucking wild. Like, that is to me, that's a trashy, disgusting thing to say, the kill/them remark, right?
Okay.
And I gave him the example, right? Fuck/them, in my opinion, that's still, transphobic, that's still fucked up. But, with the way he behaved, that's something, if you would have said something like that, I would still disagree. I wouldn't be able to get behind that. But maybe you could be like, okay, whatever. This guy's an idiot. But like, to do what he did after saying kill/them, like,
wait, what did he do? Fuck, I don't even know. I didn't even see the fucking what happened.
He watched the clip of you watching a clip of teachers teaching their children.
It's like 37 seconds. Let me watch this real quick. Give me 20 seconds. Times to it.
My pronouns are Z's, M's, and Z's. I refer to mixed Bill. Mixed C is my teacher.
So cringe, bro.
I don't think I will want my kid in this class. Am I reactionary? I wonder if Nathan has
Listen,
to.
bro. So all you guys that get to pick your pronouns, my pronouns is kill/them, okay? Fuck all y'all, bro. Y'all are making the world a shitty place, bro. I'm gonna call you either a guy or a girl. I'm not calling you by a cat, by a turtle. I don't give a fuck you got a tail or fucking whiskers. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro. Fuck all y'all, bro. Self-entitled pussies.
My pronouns are
Jesus.
Yeah, I just think it was too far. Like, I know what he was trying to convey. I
what
get
was
it.
he trying to convey?
I think he just, like, I don't want to sound like a apologist or whatever the fuck, right? Like, there's no way you can ever turn that into anything good. So by no means am I doing that. But like, what I mean is, he's not someone that's hateful. So like, I think he's just a dumb fuck that said something dumb as hell. But I truly believe he didn't intend for what he said and what it means. I don't think he intended. But what he said is unacceptable and it's unforgivable. He should have went live, re-clarified what he tried to say. And instead he's like, oh, it's a joke. It's like, in no world can that be a joke. That's what I tried conveying to him. There's no context in which you could argue that that's a joke. Like, there isn't one. There is not a context. And that's me, bro. I'm an anti-cancel culture motherfucker. Like, I say fuck both the sides, right? And even in my view, there's no context where you can like make that joke in that tone. So it's like, I think he should just went live. He should have been who he is off stream, the one that I talked to, right? And he should have just re-clarified, put his foot down, and apologized for that and walked it back. But instead, he went live and what I felt like he was doing, and maybe it's just from what I've seen in my life, and maybe I'm projecting it onto him from what I've seen from others. But it just felt like he was too concerned about looking like a bitch in front of his viewers. So instead, he doubled down in a way. I mean, he apologized. He gave a half-ass apology, and I say half-ass because before that, he's like, I apologize for absolutely nothing. And then he played music and danced, right? So it's just like, I just think it's highly inappropriate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm someone that, for the most part, if I say some shit that pisses some sensitive people off, you know, I tell them to suck my dick. But if I say some heinous shit like that, and especially in today's atmosphere, right, where there really is no excuse anymore, it's like there has to be a level of accountability, in my opinion, right?
Damn.
There has to be some level. If there's none at all, then everyone's just going to use, oh, it was a joke, it was this, it was that, constantly, right? And they're going to just say everything and anything. There just has to be a line where you make clear that that's not acceptable and that's not okay. And I just feel like it didn't happen. So, you know, kind of gave one of my lectures.
Wow. Did you would you guys ever ban from Kick permanently?
So like that's where the disconnect between me and other owners comes from. If I had the full power, right? Obviously there's like a due process, like an oversight where all the owners kind of get together and decide. You know, and I have my vote. If it was up to me, you know, I wouldn't have permabanned him. I would have definitely hit him with a 72-hour.
Is Adin permabanned?
No. He's not banned at all.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
No, no. What I meant is I wouldn't permaban him, but I would definitely hit him with a 72, especially with what he did when he came back. And there was other streamers on this platform that I would have permabanned. Not Adin. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have permabanned Adin, but I would have definitely permabanned other streamers on this platform already. The problem is, I think we're still, like, me and the other owners were still, like, in talks of what that line is. Obviously, we don't want hate speech and nudity. Obviously, those rules have been broken, and we're just kind of getting in meetings every day, figuring out where that line is, building a moderation team, getting a larger moderation team to, like, watch everything. And
moderating is... Doing non-permabans is really hard. Here's something that I found when it comes to moderating my community. This is something that's really challenging, is because you never want somebody doing a calculus for is it worth it, and then them breaking the rules. That's why, like, for a while, like, and I still kind of do this. I'm basically like, if you do something really bad, I just permaban you. Like, I very rarely do I do like time bans, or if I do time bans, they're huge. Because it's like, if I ban you for a day, like, who cares? Like, if it's a really funny fucking meme and it breaks the rules, you'll do it. Who cares if you get banned for a fucking day, or even like 3 days? Fuck it. Like, if it's funny enough, you do it. But you never want people like weighing that in their head. Like, is this funny enough that I can break the rule? Yeah. So it's a real
completely agreed.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of like 7-day bans or longer. Like, you're never banning for fucking streamer bans for 24 hours are a fucking joke, I think. But.
Yeah, the problem is, like, what you said is exactly correct. And this is something I've preached on Twitch as well, right?
Because they come back and they're just like, oh, what's up, guys? And you get like more famous for it almost, right? Like,
you get more famous, yes. Yeah. So that example of doing the calculus is exactly to the T correct of what's going on, right? Like, especially if you're a small to mid-sized creator, and even sometimes large creator, you can, you know, do the math. How much attention you're going to get, how large you're going to get from this 24 hours isn't shit, right? Or you're not going to get banned. So it's like it causes a real toxic environment. Yeah. And it will cause more issues later on. And my primary point to this, to the owners when I get into calls with them, is this. I understand their position right now. They kind of want to just, you know, go in, do their thing, you know, let anything go for the most part, right? The problem is, and this is where I kind of attack from, that sounds good, but it's very short-sighted.
Yeah, I was going to say the problem with that is that at some point it's going to change, and people are going to feel like you pulled the rug out from under them.
Exactly, and the narrative is going to be we're no different than Twitch.
Exactly.
So at one point when we have to monetize, which we have to do, right, with all of our splits, we have to, you know, get deals, sponsors, ads. So at some point, I mean, obviously we have a plan because we're still going to keep it more free, right? We're not going to work with anyone that requires us to be as strict as Twitch. So we're going to maintain that freedom. And we already have a plan of who we're going to work with. But the blatant nudity and the hate speech is going to have to be cracked down upon at some point. And if you let it roam for the short-term benefit or sorry, for what they believe is the long-term benefit, but for what I know as a streamer that's been in the game for a while is a short-term benefit. What you just said is exactly correct. You're going to have to change up on people, and that's going to make people feel, especially ones that have established their brands on the platform, right, for a year or 2 years. It's going to make them feel betrayed. It's going to make them feel like we're just another Twitch. It's just going to feel really shitty. So this is where my experience comes in, and I just hope they listen. I've been hammering every day, like, we just need to get a baseline TOS, and we need to be very strict about those baselines. We're already letting people be so fucking free. It's already a blessing. Like, and I keep telling them, I've been in the game a long time. I know that what we're offering is already a blessing. That freedom, that knowing that you're not going to get banned for dumb fucking shit, is a blessing for streamers that have no like guaranteed financial security or stability in terms of not knowing when this hype or when this thing's going to die, right? In terms of our viewerships or in terms of live streaming in general, right? Or the next waves. So it's like, what we're doing is already great.
So you don't have to push the boundaries so fucking hard. Like,
exactly. Like, we've offered this amazing thing, and people, you know, we gave an inch, people take a yard. It's like, we need to stop that now, because if we stop it in a year, people are going to feel betrayed, even though you're right. So it's like, I've been pushing heavily for that, and they're beginning to listen. So that's the good part. They're beginning to listen. They're beginning to understand, you know, and I'm somebody that wants to have like contextual bans, right? So if one person does one thing, the other person does another thing, the context does matter. I know Twitch said that but never applied it. I think that was Twitch's mistake. Although then again, I would also argue that I don't think anyone at Twitch had the I'll use like more layman's terms for this. They didn't have the in real life experience and the on the internet experience to understand the context, right? Or to understand the complexity of the just to understand context in general. So it seemed like that they had, you know, both their feet in the internet side, but they had no real life experience, because based on their context bans, it was real fucking odd. Like, it seemed like just pure favoritism. It didn't seem like context mattered at all unless you were having dinner with the president of Twitch, you know, with your parents, right? So it's like, I do want context bans, but the problem is, and I do understand intention versus effect bans, right? So, you know, a lot of owners say, oh, well, he's a good kid, he didn't mean this. It's like, yeah, I understand that, but you have to understand, making a mistake once every week, you can only use, well, he's a good kid, you know, so much. There has to be a point where we put our foot down. I understand he's a good kid. I understand I'm a good kid, you're a good kid. But there has to be a point that you let the fucking idiot know that he's causing weight. Do you understand? Like, it's not okay.
Yeah, of course.
Like, so it's like, I've been pushing really hard behind the scenes to at least get a baseline so we can have, you know, a level of consistency now. Because having it in a year and a half is going to be a big mistake. It's going to be a big one.
Rolling out features and everything is, it's really, really, really complicated,
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.